I mean, I completely get why people are so hesitant to give this team any chance. But then if you're going by talent alone, they're still going to make it to the playoffs. Talent is not the issue. The issue is the emphasis of analytics has really destroyed the team throughout this entire season. These guys are told to swing on the first pitch. Every single time, they swing on the first pitch because the analytics say a 1-2 count, a 0-1 count almost always results in and out. So they're told to swing on the first pitch. Well, when that happens, the opposition knows this. What they do is they throw their nastiest pitch. They know it's going to go outside the strike zone. That's not the point. They know the Yankees are going to swing regardless if the ball is in the strike zone or not. So this is where you get these quick 1-2 pitch at bats. They get down the count. They start chasing. They don't try to work the pitcher. And that part is going to change throughout the second half of the season as they refine the approach that hasn't been working under Dylan Lawson. He had no minor league experience, no Major League Baseball experience in a batter's box. They're telling these guys to swing early in the count because of analytics. You can't get behind the count. No wonder why they're 28th in batting average. Analytics. Oh, what a fugazi. Analytics, my behind. Analytics says throw that nasty slider, that nasty forkball, that changeup that's going to break outside the strike zone because they know these clowns are going to swing at it regardless. And so that thing is about to change. Also, the Bonehead has no feel of the game whatsoever because in modern day Major League Baseball, these guys are not making the decisions. These guys are puppets of the front office. They don't set the lineup. The analytics team sets the lineup. These guys, they take the phone call from upstairs, from the front office, from the analytics guys. These guys are told who to put in the game. In other words, these guys are puppets. Dave Roberts is a puppet. Aaron Boone is a puppet. These guys don't manage games. These guys are told what to do from their general manager and in their analytics department. And so he has no feel of the game. I mean, the latest boneheaded blunder, he takes the pitcher out of the game. There's practically 2 outs and no base runners, right? So you take him out, you just let the guy get to the fucking inning. I mean, what happens next? Oh, he puts a new pitcher, first pitch, boom. Home run, ball game, that's your ball game. And he took him out. He took German out after 74 pitches because analytics says you can't get through the lineup for the third time because they've seen the pitcher. He doesn't do well through the third time in the order. Really? What happened to Blake Snell in the 2020 World Series? What happened then? I think it's Kevin Cash who took him out too early. He was balling. He was reeling because, he can't get through the third time in the lineup. They took him out. The Dodgers took him for a ride. The Dodgers won the World Series. And so Boone has no feel of the game. The third time on the lineup. He took Garrett Cole out after 6 innings. I mean, that is absurd. After 6 innings, the worst team in the National League is not going to get through on Garrett Cole the third time in the lineup. It's just not happening. Yeah, except for Aaron Boone. They do the bare minimum. They qualify, they get knocked out. That's how they do. They qualify for the playoffs, the wild card game, whatever, every single year under Aaron Boone, but they will get lucky. 13 years after George Steinbrenner's death, they're going to win. 13 colonies, all that. The starting pitching's good enough, Donaldson, this guy is a joke. Hitting 140. This guy is finally out of the lineup. They got Peraza in there now. I mean, it's not an 8-man lineup anymore. You're playing with one less man in the lineup, just Donaldson every single time. So that is what's changing too. But the question is, who is the lone team out of the playoffs? Is it going to be the Astros? Is it going to be the Blue Jays? Well, yeah, Toronto's doing well right now. They've won 8 out of 9 to end the first half, to begin the second half. But the schedule gets tougher. The Yankees get out there. They get Cortez back. They get Judge back. They make some moves at the deadline. Who makes the best moves? We about to find out. But the thing is, these games against Toronto, in the Rangers, in the Rays, and the Red Sox, that's going to decide the division. The Yankees are going to start winning series against the Red Sox. Major League Baseball collapses happen every single year. I mean, the Braves didn't look like they're going to make the playoffs. They did. They won the World Series. The Nationals were just a 500 team. They went on a big run. They made the playoffs. A team choked. The Mets blew a big lead in 2008. You see the St. Louis Cardinals blow. Actually, it was the Braves that collapsed. Like the Cardinals, they were like down 11 games or so, like before September, and they came back and then they made it to the playoffs. The point is, see many late season collapses. It don't matter how many games you're back. There's no must-win game until September or mid-late August. These are the must-win games, and that's just the wild nature of baseball. You get hot, you don't get hot. When you don't get hot at the most wrong time of the year and the team behind you gets red hot, then that's where these late season rallies, these late season collapses happen. But the schedule don't lie. The Blue Jays are going to slump and start losing against these teams in the AL Beast. The AL Beast, the best division in Major League Baseball. Orioles, Red Sox, every team above 500. Any team can beat any on any given week. Red Sox are no scrub team. Toronto, how they collapse? Well, yeah, the Rockies, the A's, the Royals in September, but 9/11, pretty much on 9/11, September the 11th, the collapse begins at that time. On September the 11th, Murderer's Row is on the way. A 4-game series against the Rangers, who are pushed behind by the Astros. The Red Sox, they have to travel to the Bronx and travel to Tampa and face the Yankees and face the Rays. That's 6 games. The Yankees will go 4-2 at the least against the Blue Jays in September with a healthy Judge and Cole being the Cy Young he is. And Nestor Cortez back in the rotation. They call him Nasty Nestor. The expected win-losses for the Yanks against the Blue Jays, they're going to pick up 2 games alone in these head-to-heads, 4-2. A bonus if they end up taking 4 games, if it's 5 out of 6. But that is what's going to happen there for the Yankees and the Blue Jays in September. The Yankees already faced the Dodgers. Let's not forget the Blue Jays, July 24th, 25th, 26th. The Yankees are facing the Mets during that time. The 2 games, and Toronto Blue Jays have to travel all the way across the country to face off against the Dodgers. And the Dodgers are going to try to push for overall home field advantage in the National League. The Atlanta Braves actually lost a series today against the White Sox. And then, after that, the Angels, they're reeling. They may sell Ohtani. They actually do well against the Angels late July 27th, July 30th, July 28th to the 30th. That's a 3-game series. But then 4-game series versus Baltimore at the Red Sox. That's a tough stretch. The 2 games against the Phillies, fighting for the wild card in August. Baltimore, all that. The point is, every team's got tough games, got easy games. But for Toronto in particular, that is a murderer's stretch of games to end the year. And that's where Toronto is going to collapse. They may be getting hot right now, but this D-backs team is not they're a good team, but they're just not a playoff team. They're just the pretender team in the NL wild card. You're looking at the Giants and the Phillies in the NL side of the wild card. So, and if the D-backs are really going to have a bad second half, then the Yankees get the D-backs in late August and late September. Late September, they have to travel all the way to the Bronx. They're not feeling good about themselves at all. They can end the last homestand against the D-backs red hot. That's what the Yankees can do right there. They can put the dent on the D-back season at that time if they're even close in the wild card hunt right there. But I think it's gonna be a big series. September the 11th, the Yankees at Boston. It's gonna be a Boston massacre. That series right there, they're gonna make a statement. They're a better team than Milwaukee. Milwaukee has to travel to the Bucks. They get Milwaukee there instead of over there. As far as the Houston Astros go, they get the Astros August the 3rd to the 6th. That's a 4-game series. That's a big series. Gotta at least take the split, right? Will Judge come back before the Houston Astros series? That's looking like the probable time. If not at that time, then Gio can certainly be back. If he has to come back a little bit later in late August, which is not going to happen because he had batting practice yesterday, he's close to resuming, pregame duties. Boston on the 18th. You're looking at the Rays at home on the 31st, and then August the 3rd. The Jorginho is going to be back at that time, I believe. He's going to be back at that time. That'd be 44 games that the Yankees would play without Aaron Judge if we go all the way to Monday, July the 31st. So I believe that part of the schedule, July the 31st to August the 6th, that's the range where I'm looking at the Jorginho to come back. Especially if it ends up being 59 days after the 3rd, then, Dodger Stadium's 59, then that's a perfect time to get the Judge back. I have no doubt about it. After the trade deadline, the Judge will be looking to get back in there with his teammates, with his new teammates, whatever. That's what about to go down the trade deadline. But the Houston Astros are not going to miss the playoffs. I'd be very surprised if they miss the playoffs. There's one team out there that's going to choke. It's going to be Toronto. Well, the Astros, they get the Royals, 6 times in September. They get the Oakland A's in September too, because they play in the same division, the AL West. So we are looking at Toronto. It's Toronto that's going to collapse. That's going to be the late season collapse this year. The Yankees are going to beat the Toronto Blue Jays. The Astros will be in the playoffs. The Yankees will be in the playoffs. The Yankees and the Astros will be on opposite sides of the bracket. You never know. The Yankees, the AL Central is weak. So whoever gets the AL Central, it is pretty doggone awful. Well, okay, so the AL Central, they get the wild card team. So, one of these teams is going to be the Twins for sure. And then AL East is good. Let's see, that's 3 divisions. Yep. The 2 teams get the bye, So, it's the three wild cards, and then it's the AL Central, whoever comes out of that division. So the New York Yankees are going to be in the postseason. That is not a question. The Judge is close to being back. I think Yankees will get exclamation mark on the New York Mets, especially if they don't fire Buck Showalter beforehand. If they get him July 22nd, whatever. If the Yankees don't make the Mets in that series, I think they're gonna fire Buck Showalter. Definitely by that time they're gonna fire Bucky. But these are not must-win games. You have to really get to August. They get the Royals. They get the Angels, who quite frankly are struggling. Ohtani is going to be on the trade deadline. If they lost 2 out of 3 against the Astros, they're slipping out of the playoff race. If they lose the series against the Yankees, it's over. They're trading Ohtani. Is Ohtani going to have a bad series? Is he going to be eyeballing one team in particular? How many years left in the contract? Are they going to want to get assets very quickly? If you're Rob Manfred, that Judge and Ohtani on the same team, everyone hates the Yankees. You don't want to see them dominate. So one sleeper team out there that can land Ohtani. He probably likes Seattle. The Dodgers always there, but does Moreno want to trade to his inner city rivals? Or forget about the Mets. They're a joke. The Toronto, they're in the playoff race. You may never know. or Otani stays put because old Trout got hurt, run it back, make some moves. So that's still possible. They can mail it in and then try again for next year. That still is an option. But they're always going to do the bare minimum because these guys got to save their asses. One thing is for sure is uh, the Yanks will get lucky. Yeah, the bullpen is good, the pitching is great, what have you, but one guy with one swing of the bat is going to save these stupid decisions to take the pitcher out too early, to put in the wrong relief pitcher. You can just stay on it, stop. Take the red hot relief pitcher out of the game. That is Aaron John Boone in a nutshell. The judge is going to bail this guy out one swing of the bat. It's 1-2, it's 2-1, it's 3-1. Boom, 3-1 home run. Hey, great Jorginho. This guy's going to turn the Babe Ruth. Get the base runners. Get down to the point of the lineup where you have Aaron James Judge, one swing of the bat. He's the real MVP, as we've seen with the Yankees and how they've done losing to the Rockies without Aaron James Judge in the lineup. Oswaldo Peraza is back. Donald City. They're already this team making moves. So they making moves. They're not going to lose again to the Red Sox. They're going to beat the Red Sox. I think they've done very well against the Rays. But the Blue Jays, on the other hand, that team is a hot mess. The team is going to choke. The D-backs and the White Sox, that ain't real competition for Toronto. This team is still mediocre. They did get the White Sox before the break. White Sox are garbage. The D-backs, they are fools. They are pretenders. They are not making the playoffs. Now, this team could be a negative run differential. This team ain't any good. And while Miami Marlins have struggled, so hey, San Fran and Philadelphia, they in playoff bracket, you never know. As long as the Padres keep losing, they will not give up on Soto very quickly, but they are going to try to make some moves. Add another superstar, add another starting pitcher, whatever. That's what they got to do because they still got the pop in the lineup. It's just something right there in the starting rotation is not that good enough right there for the Padres. Something is going on right there. But June 13th for sure. July, Steinbrenner died. You get to November, close to 4 months, 13 years, 4 months, get the Yankees and the Dodgers on. I put no emphasis on the White Sox beating the Braves because they just got back from the break or whatever, So still the top team, still the better pitching between the Dodgers. But something about them with this young kid from New York City that they got that's in the starting rotation, they may have something going on for them. I still like the Dodgers in the Yankees in the World Series. The Yankees are going to easily be in the playoffs. It's made to look dramatic in last place, what have you. Back to being tied for last place. Well, that's what the judge is here for, from worst to first. That's what he's about to do. This is the year, 100 years after 2023, 99 World Series later. Let's all rise to the judge. All rise to the judge. Bow to the judge. And bow down to the king. This April, this man, this jail after the judge. Get the job done, the king of turn big back, and he going down to business. The judge ain't getting Otani, he ain't getting Soto. This is where he writes his legend right there. He earns every penny in that contract. We are seeing how he's worth every penny with how they are performing at under 500 and completely lost. This man is going to be the difference between winning and losing the World Series. He won't do it alone, but he will be the guy that drives in the most clutch hits. Oh, Alex Rodriguez in bad postseason. But then he did the job in 2009. And Aaron Judge is following a similar trajectory that Alex Rodriguez did, not performing in October, this is where he is going to perform in October. And that everything that happened last year, it's the narrative. He's a joker. He's not clutch in October, but he is. He's in the spotlight. He's in New York City. He's a 300, however, how many $1 million contract he got. He playing. He back. It's only a matter of when. A matter of when.